10 seconds.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back from the View from the Dead Box. We have a special guest today, Chris Cox. Known him for quite a bit of time. Michael's actually met him, I think, one time.
At this most recent World Cup when I was helping coach you guys at the for veteran militia. That's the only time.
Yeah, we were playing for VM at the time,
and playing some Warzone here and there. But
yeah, some raging on Warzone for sure. Yeah, I've known Chris for a little bit. I think probably since 2012, 2013.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I was stationed in El Paso, and you were still working for the same company you are now, actually, I believe.
Yes, I was.
You didn't play at my local field. I think you played at a little bit all over. You were playing for as Adversity at the time. Is that who that was?
Yep, that was probably 2010 is when I started with Adversity. It was a bunch of local guys. One of the guys just happened to see a paintball gun laying in my garage covered in dust, and he was like, "Hey, dude, you play paintball?" And I was like, "Well, I haven't in a long time. It's not really been anything that I've got into out here. It's kind of hot." He's like, "Oh man, we should do something. Let's go to check out the field." So, just talked a little bit about what he did back in the day, and his dad actually worked with Bob Long on some of the original ones for making the actual manual for one of the original Timmies, which was
cool. I remember you we were talking about that one night. You were asking about I think operating pressure on one of them. We were looking for it, I think, and you knew that guy was like still making the manuals, or still had like the PDFs of the manuals, I think, or something.
Yeah, one of the original ones. Yeah. After that, I mean, I looked at it and looked through the mat, just kind of laughed. It was like, all right, okay, probably 2003. It's not that great. Yeah. So he just I don't think Bob brought him back, but Bob never ever had great manuals anyway. So
yeah. What you see you drinking on something? What are you drinking?
Hey, I just like to give a big shout out to what time is it? What time is it?
It's Modelo time.
Gross.
Yeah.
One of my favorite beers.
Yeah, but Mike, you like the White Claws, right?
No, I like these Blue Moons. They can send me as many as they want.
Yeah, I'm holding it down.
I dig the docks.
Shoot, I just kicked my screen. Sorry for the camera shaking there, everybody.
Jesus.
So how long have you been playing, Chris? And what got you started?
Okay, so
you were playing with Jesus, right? Then you play with Jesus and Moses and those guys.
I shot him out. He set his ass in the dead box. But yeah. Let's see. I probably picked up my first paintball gun. It was a PMI Phantom that my uncle had, and it had some cheesy long clear plastic PVC screw-on silencer that he tried to make for it to make it look cool. It didn't make it any more silent than what it was, but it was, made it longer. It was a pump. This is probably like 1989, 1990.
I wouldn't even have thought.
So, I shot going crazy with the pump, and he's like, hey, calm down, man. Those things are expensive, like shooting like $3 bullets or something,
Yeah.
Hey, back then was not cheap.
No, not at all.
And then played a couple of woods ball things here and there with him, and didn't really get it. I was still young. I was 18 in England, you're allowed to go to the pubs and drink. So, I did a lot of that instead of going to play paintball. The second time I probably picked up speedball was probably around 2005. So I'd already been out of the Army. And I picked up a System X Enemy LE. Old Timmy knockoff.
That is awesome.
Now
it actually shot great. It was pretty wild it is a Timmy. It's a friggin' pop, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's more than you can say about the System X Cocker, ripoffs. I think I've came across probably about 14 or 275 of those, and I have literally pulled them straight brand new out of the box, and they were so far out of time not shooting. And I think it's a miracle that there might be one in this world that is shooting. We shot 3 at Dad's Field when they were new, and all of them sold them in the first month. We just could not keep them in time past one weekend. They were awful.
That's crazy.
Awful.
I'm not into the Cockers. I wasn't playing paintball at the time. I know they're nostalgic and they were good for what they did back then, but electros nowadays, just shit all over them.
I actually had an Enemy for a short System X, whatever. What were they? Enemy.
They had they had a standard and an LE, which it was just body milling, I guess.
I had one for a short period of time. I had traded. This is probably like 2008 or 9. I had traded some gear for it, and the dude threw it in there with like a big gear bag sale, and I was like, "Cool, I guess," and sold it. And
I immediately ripped out the LPR, the HPR. I put a Sodacam Mod 3 on it, and then a Sidewinder rig. So
that's awesome.
AKA,
surprisingly, yeah, dude, it shot great.
Still running that on my free flow. Best rig ever in the world.
That's what I want on that pro stock.
20 years old, and it's still like the best design rig known to man.
Yep. So you said England. You can see on the background for the people that are watching, I have a Guernsey flag. So you're the only person, one of the only people that I've known that actually know what that is. So, like, where were you born in relation to Guernsey? It's obviously an island in the Channel Islands.
Yeah. So I was actually born mainland England back in 1973. So I'll date myself. Down in Newquay, Cornwall, which is way down in the southeast coast of England. My mom and dad, both my parents are British. They got divorced when I was 3. Mom met a U.S. Navy sailor, EOD tech, down there, and obviously he swept her off her feet, and we went all over the world with him. Man, it was a great experience. I lived in England. I've lived in Europe. I've lived in all over the States. And then obviously, as I grew up, I got to travel with the Army and all the stuff that I've done here. So somebody's got some feedback going on over there. Is that a sink or toilet filling up?
I got a motorcycle driving down the road at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably me.
Probably the moped. Got the moped going around.
Yeah, I think some jackass
Ding,
got a
ding, ding,
four-wheeler
ding, ding, ding.
Probably.
What were you saying, Wes?
What's his name? What's that Cox name? You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, man, you can't say that. We're on a podcast.
I don't know who you're talking about.
No, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Is your those people?
Yes, those people.
No, it's actually not. I would say the name, but there's a slim possibility that he'll see me share this on Facebook and click it. So I'm not going to say their name.
Come down your street, knock on your door.
Uh-huh.
So you were in the Army. How many years were you in the Army?
So I signed up. So the last time I came to the States was in 1992. And then we lived in Phoenix. So I moved out to Apache Junction, Phoenix, to go live with my dad's mother-in-law, or my dad's mom. We were out there for maybe like 6 to 8 months. And then I went to go visit my sister down in San Antonio, Texas. And I was like, called my mom and dad back. I was like, I'm not coming back to Phoenix, dude. There's no way. Like, you guys need to come down to San Antonio to Texas. It's great. It's nice, really down. So they moved down there. Was there for about a year and a half. Just walked into the recruiting station, and my pops was like, well, if you go to the Navy, don't ask to be a boatswain's mate. You don't want to do any of that shit where you're just chipping paint off of decks of ships and stuff like that. So I hit up them. I took the ASFAB with the Army because I did 3 or 4 years of JRTC in high school. So I got to come in as an E3. My first duty station was for first ID over in Korea. I was in 272 Armor and spent a whole year over there. And that was probably drank enough alcohol there for a lifetime, dude. That was wild back then. Like, we really had a good time.
That's awesome.
Yes, I always hear when I was a lot of our guys were going over there in Germany, and they said that that was the fastest way to make E4 was to go over there as an E5. Like,
I guess you get demoted.
That was always the fastest way. So I always heard just insane, like, wild stories about over there. And our guys always did a lot of live fire exercises for the fisters over there, and they got shot everything. They got CAS and CCA. All those guys had all that stuff, and it was like to the wall, no holds bar. They didn't care. But yeah, so now we've played together a little bit. We played against each other quite a bit, actually, when we were in El Paso. And then, small world, we both happened to be completely separated, like from each other, nowhere near each other in the United States. And then we bumped into each other at a couple of tournaments. And then next thing we know, we're playing for an organization that happens to bring us both back together. So, which is just, it's crazy how small the world is that it full circle that it comes back around that way. And then that whole community within that organization in general. And like everybody knows everybody, and like a guy that we play with, Frank, who was like stationed in California, and you happened to play with him you were playing for the Marine team, right? With Travis?
Yeah, I was the only non-Marine team, so they actually gave it a nickname. They said Marine Team and Friends.
Yeah.
Tim Lawless used to bust my balls about it because obviously I wasn't a Marine. Dwayne Pierce. So I think just when I rolled in to play with VM, I think I had talked to a couple of the guys. I was playing a couple of seasons with Adversity. I had another team that was here local in El Paso called Southwest Fury. Bunch of good ballers. We decided to go out and play West Coast Paintball Players League, ran by Mike Hinman and Jerry Van Cleve. Probably the longest running non-major league like NXL, PSP, stuff like that. So they've been around
that's the WCPPL. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like we only have one series over here like that, and that's the MVPS. But WCPPL like always draws a ridiculous amount of teams for not being a national so-called event.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's just one of them things. Like the East Coast has MVPS, West Coast has WCPPL. Texas tries to have AXBL. I don't even want to get into or USXBL. I'm sorry,
USXBL. Yeah,
their formats just bewilders me. I'm not a fan of that league, but people still play it. It's an opportunity to go play paintball at a competition level. So, and they offer some prizes. I don't need to get into it. Basically, I don't play that league, put it that way. And I'm not going to bash them. They've done a lot for VM. A lot of the leagues that VM plays in, they tend to help us out. It's an expensive sport. They sometimes they give us half entry. Sometimes we don't pay any entry at all. Other than that, we pay for our paint, and then the guys all pay to travel out there. Can make it difficult because most of the time it's a throw together. So we don't get a chance to like go grind out an event layout. And that's one of the things we like about playing WPPL. It's a blind layout. I wish more leagues would do that.
Absolutely, blind layouts for the win.
Which is a good thing and a bad thing. This COVID is like a blessing in disguise to a certain extent over paintball. That all the events now on the East Coast are all going blind layout. So what did I just share in chat earlier? What league is that?
No.
MSXL.
MSXL.
Ohio was a blind layout, I believe, and they just released the layout. I think today, Friday, that they played tomorrow. And then I think the AXBL. Some of them are doing the 10-mile dresser layout for obvious reasons, but other than that, most of these are all going to be blind layout for the rest of the season, which I think is just a lot more fun, a lot more equal. You get to see the better team at the end of the event. And we've covered this before, but I think if you play a team and you're both on close to the same level of skill, and they have practiced on that layout for 3 weeks in a row, and you've practiced maybe one or none, you will 9 times out of 10 lose against that match.
100%.
If you both on the same skill level and you play in a layout that nobody's played at the end of that round, unless something crazy has happened with penalties and all kinds of other shit, if it's a square straight up game, at the end of that match, you get to see the better team is, who the better coaching staff is, if they adapted, if they were making the correct adjustments, if the players were figuring it out. I watch some of these guys that go to the same spot, shoot the same lane for 45 seconds and hold this lane because they know somebody's going to come to this gap, or they know they can go here and bounce the ball off this pin into this Dorito. And it's like, to me, as a spectator, it's not fun watching that kind of paintball. I'd much rather watch guys making moves get in their face because they don't know what's in front of them, and they don't, they're moving to find the next gap on the field, basically. I think it makes for a lot better game too. I feel better playing on blind layout. Even if I were to be able to play on a field for a month before I played on an event, I just feel better going to a blind layout. In my head, I feel like nobody has the upper hand. Everybody's even. So if I lose, I lost because I got beat. It's fair and square.
Yep. And this more is for our team, but I feel like we always do better like early on. Like once teams start, we don't change up our plays a lot. It's just something we don't do. So people start seeing what we're doing. But if we're on a blind layout, I think that just kind of favors us a little more, at least for us. Other teams, maybe not, but I'm kind of biased with it. Give me blind layouts all the time.
Blind layouts they can be tough. If you can't walk the field and as a team figure out what you're going to do before you start playing in it, you're going to get smashed on. This is ode to that. There's a local team here in El Paso called the Donut Shop Mafia went out to play their first WCPPL event. First day they went 0-4, man. They just said we just couldn't get it going. Like
they lived into the name, the Donut Hole Mafia. I mean,
yeah,
donut holes.
And then the day 2 they came back and they smashed and they went 4-1 and 4-0. So I think the whole going at blind layouts and figuring out the field, figuring out how to play it, making adjustments, and communication is key on any of those fields. Being able to adjust to what's going on and change on the fly or in the middle of a point or after the point, in a match, making adjustments that'll work is hard for a lot of teams.
Yep.
Especially the teams that are normally going out there and just, hey, let's order a skid of paint and let's go shoot this lane and shoot it. Saturday's all about lanes and bounce shots. Sunday we play. And then you go play these guys at an event where you've played D2 VM is big.
Well, you play a lot of organizations up there. You play basically the top 5 6 teams are all organizations that have 6-7 lines. So they get to play, even if they're beating the hell out of D5 guys, they still are getting practice on the lanes and on the bounce shots because they have ran that field. They've played 100 points on that field by week 2. So
organizations are big. I don't frown upon it. It's good for the sport. It keeps people going in. I think some of it can get a little cliquey, especially if you're a new person moving into the area. I try and not be cliquey at any of the fields I go to, because it's not good for the sport.
They don't really like you. So,
they don't have to like me. I mean, I am an asshole. I'm not going to deny that, but I try and do a lot for the scene in paintball. I've done a lot for El Paso out here since I've been here.
Well, when I was there, I was about to leave. It was on my last year. I was ETSing, and we were getting a field at Fort Bliss on the Army base. And when I was there, it was just a speedball field, but it was all on El Paso dirt. So you're playing on concrete, basically. And they had the rec field next to it. Now, when I left, because when I was there, you were pretty scared. You didn't want to play, much. So I left. I
didn't ever see you out there, to be honest.
You set that field up. You and one guy, I think. Who was
okay? So Keith Fay is an old school paintball player back in the early days, probably 2003, 2004 with this kid. He played a lot of paintball. Ran a paintball park back up somewhere in the Northeast, or not even the Northeast, Midwest, I think. And me and him literally hand stacked a field we got 3 14 or 12 foot 2x4s, nailed them together to make a 24 foot basically level. And we got some screenings brought in. We packed them down, spread them out, and we hand drugged the thing to make it nice and level. Then we watered it and ran it over with a little 3 foot roller to make the ground compact. And then we rolled the turf out on top. It was a perfect field. We loved it. But Balfour Betty, the housing association or the management company that owns the on-base housing, was getting calls about people's windows getting shot, paint landing in the backyard. So it
probably happened.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, you got kids bouncing out there in the rec side, just shooting blind firing over top of bunkers. But it was a safety concern for them, and I don't blame them. They were putting up this housing around, so they ended up shutting it down. Every time I drive by there, it's like a obstacle course and just slowly being taken over by dreams. 100%. I was like, dude, just give me the stuff. Let me buy the stuff from you. They didn't want to sell it. They got like a $20,000 or $35,000 220 volt air compressor that's massive and would run probably several parks or several big parks.
That place was so nice. They were just getting going, like I said, when I was leaving, and it was all just dirt and concrete. But they had like proper. It's a military establishment, so everything's done professional. We have tons of money to waste on dumb shit. So we had like legit concession buildings. We had like proper air stations, everything. This is probably 2012, 13, something like that, 14. So it was all like,
no, this is
nice.
This is later than that, I think, like 2014, 2015.
Yeah, it has probably be 14 because I was getting out in like in the mid of 15. So it had to be like that 13, like the end of 13, 14, something like that. But
very nice field. 12 bottles, cascaded, always have 4,500 fills, never an issue. Had bunkers on standby. Had 2 more brand new sets that they never even unboxed that are just sitting in a warehouse somewhere over there on Fort Bliss and not touched. So this is how much it went to. We actually, Keith and I went and talked to the director of MWR. We tried to get in with the post garrison commander. It was like, look, Keith and I spent all this time and effort, and you guys spent all this money to put a paintball field in there. And, we want a good paintball field on post that has facilities to support it. I said, the community will give back. We got guys coming in from Albuquerque down here. We can get guys from Phoenix. You got the locals coming in, and you've also got the soldiers. And he just like, look, he said, you can talk about all that other stuff. We don't care about anybody off post other than the soldiers. I was like, oh, okay. So like, he basically shot us down. We were trying to sell it to him. They were going to move it over. I don't know if you remember where the Rod and Gun Club was outside Loop 375. Yep. So there's all that land area out there. They're like, oh yeah, we'll just set it up out there. We'll just throw out some stuff. We'll put a Connex out there. I actually had a guy here locally in El Paso for about $285K. He was going to build a park. So it would be 2 turf fields and 1 massive rec field. And then all the area in between. Like, it was a legit blueprint for like you could go build off of it. We presented it to them because one of the Corps of Engineers was like, $380,000. And I'm like, bro, they're not going to bite off on that. So we talked to this guy, Dave James, and he did this up and said, we do it for about this. I said, yeah, we won't run you any electricity. You'll get a Connex to store the equipment in. We're like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, you need environmentally controlled area for the paint. You need 220 for the compressor. You need lights, you need air stations, all this stuff. And they were just like, nah, we're not interested. So hopefully that guy either gets old and retires and somebody else comes in, or we get a garrison commander that actually gives a shit.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then everybody takes
I'll get my bus driver's license and hit him.
All right, well, a car.
God, no, God. All right.
Maybe a car.
Hey, man, you can't say that on the podcast.
Just break his leg, maybe. Don't kill him.
Both his legs.
I spent a lot of time working on fields here in El Paso. I've tried to push as much as I can for El Paso paintball. So, matter of fact, El Paso Paintball Park just reopened. Yeah, 3 full-size.
Is that Gabe's? That's Gabe's place, right?
Exmoto, Ricky's, El Paso Paintball Park. Every time he closes, it comes back.
Shout out to Ricky's. That's where I started at, and again, that was on El Paso Hell Dirt.
With the big ass X.
Yes, it was so great. We had amazing times there.
Who was the guy I guess that
was him.
That was Ricky or Gabe?
HD. No, it was HD. Diesel.
Oh, you're at HD. He's still around. I see him every once in a while. He comes out, says hi.
Yeah, him and Angel, actually. Yep. I think Angel actually still plays.
Angel lives in Tucson or Phoenix now, and he plays with.
I think he still plays.
I think he either plays with. I know he plays with. He plays with my buddy that used to play on Southwest Ferry, Jason Allison, out of. He was in Silver City. Now he lives in Tucson. So.
Okay. Yeah.
They actually did pretty well in WCPPL last week, a couple weeks ago. Shout out to them.
So they have so they're playing out there, and if it was when I got there, it was kind of on its last leg. It was kind of going down, but they had a good turnout. But it was 2 brothers, I think, owned it. They got it from their father.
Charlie and Zach. So okay, there was actually 3 brothers. Early before we got involved there, Charlie, the owner of Ricky's, was the one who put the money into it. His brother Zach, and the younger brother, or it was Ricky, Zach, and Charlie. I think one of those 2 is older than the other. Either which, when we were there, it was the 2 younger brothers that were running it. HD was the manager, and I think everyone would show up at like 11, talk till like 1, play a game, talk till like 3. I'm just like, bro, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to play paintball.
That's normal.
Yeah. For us, everywhere I've been plagued with like shitty fields that have the opportunities of like being really good, that they have everything in front of them. Like El Paso had the chance like 2 or 3 places that looked amazing. I'm like, this is gonna be great. Shit on us, nothing. I'm like, sweet. Now here we're looking to, hopefully it's gonna pick up really good, but we have the opportunity. Here we have professional turf. We have a really good spot right outside of Savannah. It's an amazing location. He has like 300 million acres. So he has like enough to do every damn event together there. His rec fields are amazing. And he already has it dragged out, leveled, cut. They're just trying to get asphalt laid out there so they can put down turf. But it's been like this COVID thing has pushed everything back so bad that we're almost to the point that I think we're just gonna like steamroll the dirt, like kind of like you did, but it's a little bit different in El Paso because, like I said, that dirt's like concrete. Here, it's like sand dirt, so it's a lot more soft. But I think we're gonna try to. Hopefully, we can talk to them and just get it rolled out. And we have all Jacksonville Jaguars turf, and we're just gonna lay it out and start playing because. I'll tell you what, man, it's a bitch to drive 2 hours to go play speedball. You know, we've been running so many drills here lately. It's just, I like drills, but I do like to shoot people in the face too. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, we need to play.
For what we found, so this is what Keith did initially. He ordered a bunch of pea gravel, and he brought it out there, and he threw it down, and he threw the turf down. I'm like, bro, don't do that. Like, you're gonna, like, I sit there and just pounded the bunker with my, or where a bunker would be with my knee a couple times, and it did a divot. I'm like, this is going to be a constant battle with you. I said, you need to roll this back up, and it's called screening. So basically there's a shaker, and they take all that stuff that falls through, and they keep filtering it down till it's small. And it's like it's almost like a base for concrete.
Yeah.
And it packs really well. If you get it wet and you run it down, it packs. It is hard as like a rock, basically.
Yeah.
So it's called screenings. We had about 6 trucks come in and just dump it. Basically roll in, dump it, roll in, dump it, roll. I'm almost like, oh my God, dude, what are we going to do with all this? So we got a backhoe. I used a backhoe to kind of scrape it and get it as flat as we could. And then we went to town and manually to level it out and actually kind of scrape it out to where it was like at an angle. So if it rained, the water drained off. It wouldn't puddle up. Great field, man. I was like, when I found out it was closing, I was just like, are you kidding me? It's like, can I dig it up and take it home with me?
All that work I put in.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like maybe not even a year after we done it, that they closed it down. So that was terrible.
Yeah, that's right.
So we were without a place. We went to Ricky's, and I did some stuff out there with him. Unfortunately, he jacked his turf up. He had a roller come out, the spin brushes, like the day before tournament he was going to have. And he's like, hey, man, it rained. I'm going to brush this thing. I was like, no, dude, don't brush it while it's wet. All that mud's going to get packed down into your turf. Well, the guy did it anyway. And his turf turned like hard as a rock. Like we were out there trying to bust it up with jackhammers and
oof.
Yeah, it was bad. I was like, man, dude, you fucked this turf up. So
that's good.
He's turned it around. It's a pretty good field now. We've got some good people out there. So we've been working at
Gabe's place.
El Paso Paintball Park this time around. I don't know what's going to be called next time. It
was X-Moto because he was really big in the motocross, and he had next to it a giant motocross track, and then he had paintball on the side. But again, when I played there, I always play it in like the terrible spot.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Jen, how are you?
He said, hi. Hey, Jen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Bro.
Great.
Bro.
You got food?
Oh.
What you got there? Is that a steak?
Steak
and
steak. Potato.
Steak and potatoes.
All right, hey, man, this is over. I'm done. See you later.
Yeah. Every time I go somewhere, man, it's like we get there and it's like going to be big when I'm leaving. So El Paso, he was getting all the turf in, and I'm leaving. I'm like, God damn, man. So, but I hope it holds out. I mean, it should be good. Now we have 2 fields here that are going to be turf supposedly coming up shortly. So we'll see.
2 fields.
You guys catch on. I'm just looking for the last event of the season for us for CPSL is on this place called Black Ops, and they just finished it, and it's professionally asphalted, leveled, like everything looks amazing for it.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a picture of it, I just shared it on the podcast page.
God,
and
it
Courtney
looks
shared
amazing.
on the Georgia Extreme one, but it looks that'll be one of the nicest fields I've ever played, other than Atomic's old field up in Augusta. That was always very nice field. But we always bring that one up. But
well, I'll tell you that, but that field we just played at the last CPSL was pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it really was, considering that turf was just on the ground, right? On like hard packed clay or something.
Yep.
Interesting.
So, do you have a topic you want to kind of get into real quick?
Well, I don't know if I had a. I mean, I got some topics, just not sure. Is this kind of a funny topic? So, we've all played paintball for a while, right? And we've had our fair share of getting knocked out before making Sunday. What is it with everybody wearing straw hats at these fucking paintball events on Sunday? I wear one. A million other people wear one. KM sells them. Social sells them. I'm sure others some. Why do we do that? I don't know.
Undersells them because it's hot and you're
Is it because it's hot? I don't know. I do it because I saw other people doing it.
I guess it keeps the sun off your head really well, actually.
I guess that's what it is. I don't know. Just because I do it.
No, I'm normally always playing Sunday, so.
Yeah, well, you're not typically playing. You're the one filling the pods usually in the pit.
Well, whatever. I have to shade of the pit, so we're good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I just like. I mean, even when if I'm not playing an event, I bring my straw hat. Is it like I just feel like it's the attire of either someone who's demoralized or like was
beat down. If
demoralized.
you see somebody walking around in a straw hat, they probably already got knocked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to think about it. So you go out there with the expectations. I'm surprised Michael said he brings it with him. Like I wouldn't bring it with him. So most people that you see at an event with it probably bought it there. Like, oh man, I'm walking around, dude. It's hot. I didn't think I'd be here. I thought I'd still be playing paintball.
It's actually hanging up just out of frame up there.
There we go.
Yeah.
So they're big sellers. Like I think Rangel sold out at Cup just like within 5 minutes that they were out. So
he's like, there's going to be 800 teams. That means at least one of those players are going to get knocked out of each team. So give me 800 straw hats.
That and umbrellas, big sellers.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
So I played a Riverside event, PSP, and I remember Tom Cole coming by and telling me we had to take we had a canopy we bought from Walmart locally, and it was hot. You're talking Bakersfield, fucking California, Riverside, hot as hell. We just like burn it up. We're waiting for our next match, and it's a while later down in the day. So we got a canopy up. We put it up. He's like, "Hey man, you guys got to take that down." We're like, "What are you talking about? Like, where are we gonna stand? There's no shade out here. There's nothing." He's like, "Yeah, the city won't let us do it here." I was like, "Bro, you got to be kidding me." Yeah,
that's
shade is a must.
Absolutely.
Goes back to, like I said, man, the old NXL.
Go ahead, say it.
No, this was PSP. This is one of the last PSPs.
This is,
I got you. Yeah.
Nazis.
True. Oh, you can't say that on TV.
He is not a fan. He has something he can say about every podcast.
He watched every single podcast. I always go off on the NXL somewhere for robbing us of entry fee money.
Now they're robbing us of our shade.
Yeah.
I thought this was America. I wanted my damn shade.
I'm sorry. I thought it was America.
Well, you got to look at it. They do some good stuff for VM, so we can't complain too much about it on the VM side.
They take care of us, so I can't complain too much. But Jesus, man.
Go ahead, say it. Come on, get it out.
Overall, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, man. For the player, like, jeez, for the sport, not for the back pocket of somebody else.
That was my goofball topic for today. I'd pick something. I don't know. It's not really even a topic. It was more of a question, I guess.
How long have you been playing with VM? 16, you said?
2016.
16.
Yep. World Cup 2016 was my first event that we tried to put together. Let's see. I'd met Chris at PSP 2013 the first time when he was still in. He was all clean shaven and shit. It was kind of wild. Still didn't have any hair, so I made fun of him for that.
Yeah, crazy how that works.
Talked to him a couple times. We went out and played at WCPL with Southwest Fury for 2 years back to back. We didn't do very well. We actually had a lot of fun. Playing at Camp Pendleton is really fun. So you get to go to the beach. We actually rented. I took my whole family out there, my kid, my wife. We rented a Airbnb right on the beach, man. We walk out our friggin' front doorstep. You're on the beach right there in Oceanside. It's California. So
that's awesome.
So I played there for 2 years. I started to get to know Chris was coming out there. I met the guys on Marine team, Dwayne Pierce. He introduced me to that. Like, hey man, let's go do something at Cup. And we're like, all right, because Southwest Ferry wasn't going to go to Cup. We were just going to play WCPO.
Yeah.
So we just had to throw together maybe 5-6 guys. Reese was one of them. One of your guests that you had on a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Myself, Dwayne Pierce. There was a few other guys. We got like two or three major, gross major gun penalties for whatever reason. One of them was the dude had his gun set to something else and then didn't even bother. He put it on something else and they were like, dude, come on, man. We just told you your gun was hot. Fix it. And he didn't. He set it on something else, went back out there, got another one. I got one from the night before we were messing around with my gun. And I guess that somebody just changed the settings up on the ramp to like 11.2. And this is 10.5 the first year. And the ref comes over. He's like, hey, give me your gun, player. I was like, come on, bro. Like, he's like, hey, shoot your gun. Shot it. And I was in the snake, the plate snake. And he's like, came back out. He threw a major. He's like, come on, player. I was like, what? I was like, bro, I just chronoed, man. The guy was like, I said it was under 300. It was like 285. He's like, nah, dude, you're shooting 11.2. I was like, what? How is that even possible? How is that possible? Like, literally, look, I looked at it. Yep, sure as shit.
That's wild.
Yeah. So that sucked. We didn't do so hot. But after that, VM took off for 2017. We did really well.
Yeah,
and 2018.
It blew up. It has definitely gotten to a giant organization now. I think last year we had, I want to say it was either 18 or 20 teams for Cup.
Yeah, it was wild. I think we went all the way through India.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. So we do all our thing with phonetics, the phonetic alphabet. So, yeah.
Because you guys were a hotel, right, Wes?
Yeah.
Horrible.
And we had a lot.
Hotel, H for horrible.
Yes. Speaking of horrible, how about the 10-man Mountains Open we played?
Oh God!
You want to talk about some horrible?
Dude, we did bad. That was terrible.
It was.
We got raffle stomped. Me and John McCormick were so mad. We shot Alex Friggy out, and he fucking cheated us. He came all the way down a snake and blasted us. He turned around, and me and both John called him. I was like, dude, you were hit all over your pack. Me and him both shot you out.
And he said, well, y'all started with 15 players, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That might have been the case.
About the point that we played when we had me, you, my wife, Courtney, Payne, we had Shane, we had Alex. We had Ricky. Ricky actually was out there. I think Kelly, was playing maybe.
Kelly dove behind that little tree.
Yeah.
I got video of that.
You were like, hey, Mike, come on. I'm like, Wes, you guys got a million fucking
people.
We
had Rangel. We had everybody out there. We literally snuck on with 13 people on the field, and the refs did not see it.
I think he saw it. He just didn't
fucking lost, dude. He lost with 13 motherfuckers on the field.
Nope.
God, it didn't help that every time I happen to watch Ricky play, as good as he is a fucking walking major magnet. Like
he's a cheater.
Every time I look over, I see a fucking goddamn red flag next to him. I'm like, oh, so we had a fucking 13 on 10. Well, on the break, he gets a major. So then we're right back to a 10 on 10. So it didn't fucking matter.
He literally, his nickname on the teams that he's played for is literally Major Rick.
That's awesome.
God.
We had a guy like that, old Weston.
Oh, Weston, baby. I think there's a video of Ricky from this season, maybe, or
Vegas.
Was
Vegas, yeah.
And what happened? I seen the video, and it's hard. You would know more about the video than I would.
Nope.
It's fucking hilarious, though.
Ricky's a snake player. He's small, squirmy, good cheater. Jumps in a snake, gets clipped, shoots a guy who keeps running him down. Ricky just obliterates this dude after he's called out. Ref freaks out on Ricky, throws a major on him. Ricky turns around and starts shooting the ref.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, at this point, he's just like,
we're talking about Vegas.
That's wild.
So, this fucking fool He goes out. They're like, player, come on. You're going to player jail. You're ejected from the tournament. Give us your player card. He hands them last year's player card, and they took it. This dude, I can't make this stuff up, dude. Ricky's wild. I love Ricky to death. That's my little homie.
God,
It's
he is
fantastic.
is wild.
So I guess I could ask you the question: is it ever okay to shoot a referee? Ricky would say yes. I don't even know who Ricky is, but
Depends.
depends. Okay.
Yeah.
What did Reese say? Do you remember? He kind of said no, but
Well, he also helps run an event. Me, I have
he
no.
took the safe answer.
Yeah. It depends, man. Like if you got some, like I've got cheated by refs a bunch of times. Players have cheated, and like, look, man, you straight up know, like, how did that guy shoot me in my pack when I'm not even facing him? Like you said, you just saw it. I shot a dude running me down in the Dorito side. Shot him in the chest. Obviously, the ref didn't see it because he got shot in the chest. I shot the guy. As soon as I shot him, I turned back in to shoot across the field because I knew I shot the guy out. The dude fucking hammers me. I'm like, bro, that's a major. Like, I shot that dude. He's like, no, that player shot you out. You missed him. I'm like, no, I didn't. It's like I literally saw the ball blow up on him, and then I turned back inside. So, obviously, I got a minor for that. I may or may not have shot that ref a couple times when he went in to check a player.
Sometimes I think it's warranted. I mean, don't go blow the fucking ref up just because of the ref. But
No, Ricky did blatant, like, turned around, looked at the guy, hip fired him, just shot him, and walked off.
That's
All right,
funny.
so another small thing I wanted to bring up was, what is one thing I think we all in general have one thing we've done in the paintball scene maybe that we regret doing, or if we can go back and we could change it. What is that one thing that you would go back and change that maybe it was a mistake or something that you thought you should do different, that now know the knowledge you have now? What is that one thing you would go back and change or maybe, swap around?
Fucking not spend so much goddamn money on guns. Like, I got one gun. I don't need any more.
Yeah, mine was going to be a gun thing, too. I made some bad trades back in the day. Before I knew what I was doing, back on the PV Nation days.
Considering what something to go for now.
Yeah, I'm like, dang, I wish I would. I had 2 Hurricanes SL74s with full barrel kits. With the Reds barrel kits, that meant they were player guns, and I wish I would have never got rid of either one.
Oh, everybody has regrets about selling guns. I've got tons of guns that I should have sold, but
What about
what
you?
it is. I wanted the next greatest thing that was every year was increasing in price. $800, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500. I'm like, bro, like it still shoots the same.
Yep.
Yeah. And I've got past that. I shoot a Lux Ice that my mom paid for me to get anode with a nice worn thing by.
I saw it the other day on Facebook. It looks good.
Yeah.
You need to get an Encore for that. I don't know why you're still dicking around. I've already told you.
Man.
I'm telling you, Encore. It'll shoot
not that much different.
A buttery smooth OLED.
You won't notice it.
Buttery smooth OLED.
I agree with you, homeboy.
You won't notice it. Wes, what about you? What do you regret? Being an asshole all the fucking time? Or
Yeah, I think going to the asshole thing when I had that tryout for the pros at 16,
God.
my cool.
Yeah, that's probably a big one. Ours aren't that important. Yours was pretty wild.
Yeah. So
what field was that at? That was in Atlanta.
that was it was the only field in Atlanta. It was where Extreme played out of.
It might be Lane Wright's field. I know he's
Right
Paintball
off,
Atlanta now, but he's an old.
right off the interstate. Like we drove off and went like a service road, and it was on the side of the interstate, I believe.
That might be like Paintball Atlanta, and then it was also called Dozer Works and all that stuff.
It wasn't Dozer.
What team was it? Breakout?
No, Team Extreme.
Oh.
Way back. I think
The team that you go to try play for or out of Atlanta?
Yeah.
I thought Atlanta had like a Atlanta Breakout or some shit.
Yeah, that's
They did, but they weren't that good at the time. I don't know they were around then actually. But back in the day, I want to say
there was Atlanta Predators too. Maybe was that was a Smart Parts factory team out of
back
Atlanta.
then it was
different. Yeah,
I think, and I'd have to pull the rosters up, somebody big and important now in the paintball scene. I mean, I don't think it was Tom, but somebody really important nowadays was the owner or captain of the team back then. And I've told this story before, but he was at a friend's wedding down here at my dad's field, and he showed up. We only had like 6 or 7 of us out here playing. It wasn't really a big turnout. And him and a buddy were jumping in on points, or maybe it was just him. And I ended up like just beating the piss off this dude, just fucking shitting all over him. And I think he reached out to my dad like that night or the next night and asked if I can come up and go to a tryout in Atlanta. So like 2 weeks later, they said we're having the Georgia Bulldogs come up and play. And this is X-ball, 2 20-minute halves. They said, we're going to come up, and if you can bring your line, we're going to mix him in with a whole bunch of different lines. And my guys, we were like, I think D3 back then, and this have to be like 06, 05, something like that. And I was like, just one of those days, I was just feasting. It was the long zipper style snake, so there was like 9 knuckles in the bitch, and I would go right in on the break. I would go to like I would send my straight to the corner, shoot the wire. I would go to like the 3 or the 4 and just fucking melt people every single point. They could not stop it. Well, towards the end of the day, they were loading the snake with like 2 guys, and it was against that line, and there was coaching back then. Well, I was getting out coached because we only had dad there to coach. That's all we had. And we didn't play X-ball, obviously. We played 5-man, traditional like point spread 5-man, where you pull the flag, it's 25 points. You hang the flag, it's 50 points. Well, anyway, this is our first time even getting a taste of X-ball. And they had a guy in like the snake 3 and a guy in the snake 1. Well, I jump over, I think, into the highway, or no, into the inside, and I dunk the dude in the 3, and they're screaming that I'm coming to the inside, and I jump back over to the highway and then run down, and as I'm about to shoot the dude in the 1, the dude in the 3 turns around and puts like 15 in my fucking back. Like, and I'm like literally 10 foot past him. He roasts me. So I shoot the 1 and I turn around, and the dude is standing up out of the bunker. Probably a half second later, he's walking to the dead box to me, and I literally turned to him and fucking put the rest of my hopper all in his face and top of his head and knocked him to the fucking ground. Literally just shot everything I had. I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? And I was just losing my shit. And granted, I'm like a 16-year-old kid at this time. And I'm screaming. I'm fucking just mad as fuck because that was probably going to win the point. And the dudes started clearing the dead box, and they're coming out of the pits. They're coming out. My guys are running the field. We're about to have this fucking brawl. Like, at this fucking like 150 person turnout, this giant event, or not event, it's like scrimmage per se. And needless to say, at the end of the day, I played a couple more points, and they came out to my dad, and they were like, we really like him. He's like, would fit great on the team. He's gonna have to get down his ability to like calm down in situations. Apparently, and this is what the guy says, and this is probably bullshit, but the guy told dad that they did that on purpose to see how I would react in the situation.
No, they probably did that shit on purpose. They're probably like, oh, this kid might be a high-head. Let's find out.
Yeah, and they could have. But guess what, though? I bet that motherfucker never shot somebody in the back again. Because the next time he went to shoot somebody in the back, I bet he held his fucking mouth and was like, oh, God, I still remember getting shot fucking 48 times in the face. Like, God. But, yeah, so that's my worst thing that I think.
Yours is way worse than ours.
All right.
Yeah, you guys cheap.
I got a question because we'll wing it here. Michael, what is your most embarrassing moment in paintball? Not something that you might know close to yourself that you did, or somebody that might know it on your team, not something like everybody and their mom knew that you.
Years ago, this was probably 2010. I was going to pull – this isn't even that embarrassing, but to me it is because I really have no fucking shame. But I'm going to pull a flag, and I look at our other teammate, and his name was Reed, and I thought he was going to grab the flag, and this was like for taking top 3 or something like that. I pointed at like Reed grabbed the flag. He shook it off like, no, I guess he had a hit on him. And I went to stop my big ass, and my fucking cleats came out, and I busted my ass in all the pods. And I broke like 6 pods, and I landed on my back, and I broke paint all over. So then he hung the flag anyway, because I was afraid they'd call it as a hit. It's like, Reed, you got to grab it now.
How about you, Junior?
A most embarrassing thing.
That's a good question.
Nothing ever happened.
I think. Trying to think.
He got shot by a dude with his pants down. Was that you or was that Colin? Maybe that might have been Colin.
What was it?
They had people where they were.
Go get me a beer, please.
Will's guys from Will's Paintball in Jacksonville. They were up scrimmaging us at combat zone, and Mike Stevens, his pants fell down when he was in a one-on-one. It was either you or Colin.
Oh, no, that was Colin. I said Colin lost his fucking shit.
Yeah, Mike.
How the fuck does this happen?
The dude's pants fell down. He picked up his pants and then still shot him.
Nice.
I thought that was you, but that's Colin's embarrassing moment.
I think shitting myself on the field, I think. But it's not like people knew, but my line knew. Like I didn't have enough time before the match was starting to get off the field and like take a shit. 'Cause it's gonna be like a 10-minute shit. This is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And it was like squirty diarrhea too. So I remember diving and I just felt, and I'm squeezing everything I have to like the prey doesn't come out. And I'm in the snake and I'm crawling. And the whole time I am everything I have to like finish it. And we ended up winning the point. I'm walking down and I could feel it like running down the back of my legs. I'm like, oh no. So I had to like get to the pits and ask for a towel. And like, what's going on? And like, it felt like it was sweat. I knew exactly what it was. And people were like smelling it inside the fucking pits. So I like picked my leg up, like my pants leg, and then was rubbing the towel and came out, and it was just fucking awful.
That is fucking gross. That is so nasty.
Throw this towel away. Like,
all right,
go ahead.
got it.
Well, what about you, Chris?
Apparently this happens more than you'd like to think, because Vegas last year, we were playing. I jumped into the snake. I was at the S1, and I ran up and jumped into either their S3 or their S2, and I was belly down. I jumped up and squatted, and as I squatted, it just like right in my pants. I was like, "Oh my god!" I said, "Ref, come here." He's like, "What's up? You need to check?" I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure I just shit myself." Like in the fucking, he just started laughing, dude.
That is fantastic.
Won the point, but it wasn't as bad as Wesley, but a little squirter in my shorts. I was like, yeah, let me go throw these away and clean up a little bit. I'll be back.
Because my moment wasn't nothing.
Yeah, I guess apparently you shit yourself in the snake more often than you'd like to think.
That's normal. It's normal.
That's funny.
Damn it.
So after every interview, we have this rapid questionnaire we've been introducing to our guests.
Okay.
And I think we're gonna give it to you, see what you got.
Okay.
Just spit it out.
Most of these are pretty quick questions. You don't have to think about them too much. Maybe I think one has an explanation to it. You can give one, but other than that, they're all pretty short and fast questions. You ready? We're gonna go ahead.
Are they yes and no, or is it just looking for an answer?
Some of them are pretty just like a few word answers.
Okay.
There's only one that actually has you have to explain it. So, first question: who's your favorite player of all time?
Oh shit.
This is one that gets everybody too.
Yeah. If you have to break it up between past and present, that's fine too. Some people have a hard time separating them.
Archie.
All right. Drums or flats?
Flats.
Oh, flats!
Gross.
Bro,
you're a fucking Nazi. Flats?
Pop them in your mouth, twist them, and just pull out two bones.
No
Not
meat. No meat.
Nibble on a little fucking...
meat.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. You just pop it off, man.
You got all this work with your little hands. And
all right, so I don't even know why I'm being asked this question, because Wes eats fucking wings like a bitch anyway, so...
I eat wings, scale of 5. I'm on 5.
I'm a nibble. All right, keep going.
But drumlets for sure. That's the goat.
I like both, man. Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase this. I will prefer to eat flats just because they're easy to eat.
We're gonna change this.
How is it easier to eat?
Have you? Because you nibble, right? Do you chew on the edge of the thing, or you just put the whole drum in your mouth and pull it out?
Well, Junior puts the whole drum in his mouth and pulls it out, but normal.
No, he
people
doesn't.
go
You've
around.
seen how he eats. Look, I've seen it. Like the number 3 at tops. He chews around it. That's too much work for
That's
me.
how you have to do it. That's how you
At
do
wings,
it. It's much
you
easier.
just take it, you twist the fucking flat, you put it in your mouth, pop the 2 bones out, and you eat everything that's in your mouth. You don't have to chew on it. So they're easier to eat.
Child's
There
play.
is more meat on a
Child's
drums
play.
plate.
To get you a CAT
Go ahead.
scan.
Go.
I think I know this answer, but favorite team.
San Antonio X Factor.
That's what I figured.
What's
Right
your
on that.
most memorable paintball event?
Oh, come on, man. World Cup 2017.
Yep.
Or no, 2018. Jesus.
Yeah, see, I even knew
So
that.
2018, we played D3 5-man. Was it was 5-man? Whatever, man. I don't care. We were kicking people's asses all over the place. We took the series. We took the series and we took World Cup. We ended up beating up a team out of Venezuela, and they gave us these little pretty things right here.
Oh yeah, those are fantastic.
So the guys who aren't watching the YouTube stream, they are NXL rings, and you get them for championship, correct? Right?
Yes.
Or cup, yeah,
There's
championship.
2. You get 2 of them. So you get we got. Actually, you know what? One of those is 2019. So no, I'm sorry. We were back-to-back series champs, and we won cup in 2018.
They're also back-to-back World War champs too.
This is true.
Yes.
He said, "This is also true."
Dickhead.
Number
Favorite
5.
superhero.
Huh?
Favorite superhero.
Ooh. Favorite superhero. Wow. Okay.
And before you say it, Batman's not a superhero. Just so you know.
Is anybody in DC a superhero?
Yeah, there's tons
Absolutely
of
not.
superheroes. Yeah.
Okay. $6 Million Man.
$6 million
Oh, look at that.
man.
We'll get something different with you. I can't wait to see what Chuck's is.
That's
What's
like,
your?
that's like his?
Go ahead.
That's the show you probably grew up watching. And that wasn't that the old.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, but that was like
My dad always talks about that. Like that's
Steve Austin, man. He was fucking the
Austin.
goat.
Isn't he the Bionic Man? Isn't that what it is? Yes, the Bionic
Yeah,
Man.
it was a really cheesy show. I just said that just to be off the cuff. To be honest, oh
You
man,
got more time to think.
Uh-huh.
yeah, shut up. Can I don't know. Star Wars isn't really a superhero, is it?
No, I don't think so.
We're talking like DC, Dark Horse, all that shit. Well, no, because
You can do Marvel. You can do DC.
I mean, those 2 are gonna be your most common. But
I don't even know.
TikTok.
Jeez.
I don't even know. I don't even think I have a
All right,
fucking superhero in here.
Terrible. $6 million.
Silver Surfer.
Silver.
I'll say
Silver
Silver Surfer.
Surfer. He's
There you
not-
go.
What's your favorite gun of all time? Paintball gun.
Paintball gun?
Yep.
Probably I don't have it anymore. My reverse vampire SL94.
Oh, nice. I'll take it.
It was dust white with red gloss parts, and I sold it for $500, I think.
That
Ooh.
hurts.
Got your ass.
Oh, I've sold a lot of guns for a lot. I had a 1 of 12 LV won the HDE flag that there was only 12 of them. I sold that for $500.
Next
Oh.
time you're selling guns, hit me up.
I only have one. I only have one, so there's no more getting sold.
Damn.
Actually, that's not true. I have a 07 Ego with like 198,000 shots on it or some shit.
Don't tempt me.
How do you like your steak cooked?
Medium.
Medium.
Okay.
Good answer. We're gonna
All right.
agree on that. Here you go.
Here, look. There you go. Is it? Can you see that?
Yeah. I'll allow it. Hard or soft?
Hard or soft?
Yeah.
Soft.
All right.
All right.
I have no idea what that was about, but okay.
We don't either.
Hard sounded like not a good thing.
That was probably not the one needed to answer. Who is the best player currently in paintball?
In paintball?
Yes.
Shit. If what's his name would have had a better event in Vegas, probably Smotroff.
Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't really do so hot.
Yeah, I mean,
but last year, dude, the Russians. I seen him last year, man. Dude, he's fucking killing it, dude.
Who's the
Malloy? You talking about the short one?
Yeah,
he's a goat too. That dude's a goat. Yeah. All right, so
most of these guys.
He's up there. He's up there with like Mouse and fucking Archie and all that, but like just an all standout player for what they've done last year and hopefully what we were going to see for him out of this year. Smoketroff was just fucking murdering people last year, like hands down. Like when we watched him, I think we were in Chicago, where I think X Factor ended up. They were up like a bunch of points, and fucking Legion just came back and shit on them like 6 points in a row. Like, just fucking smashing them, dude. And I just seen Malloy and Smoketroff just fucking killing it. So, yeah.
I'm trying to think, because they always run the kill race towards the end of the event, and it wasn't Archie. It was somebody else from X Factor that was like 2 off of
Billy, probably Billy.
Yeah,
Bernaccia, or it might have been Colt.
Yeah, I think he was like 2 off of Malloy.
Billy, I saw Billy up close, like playing Snake. That dude is fucking fast as fuck.
Yeah,
like
videos every now
I've seen Mouse run. I saw Billy run and gun to the Snake. I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ! You know, that's a guy that's just ran so fast, ran there so much in his life. It's just fucking natural.
Yeah,
like
and he can run and gun to the Snake the whole time too.
Yeah, dude, he's like looks like he's gonna fall on his face, but he's just like smooth, just shooting his gun. Yeah. Almost like that's pretty wild. Yeah, a lot of people wish they could shoot like that. All right, go
ahead. What do you notice first about the opposite sex? For those of you not watching, he is in deep thought.
Yeah.
Like deep.
It's hard. How do you answer that question? Like, so you see somebody walk by, but you turn around and look at them? What do I mean? That's what you
yeah, but you notice their face.
What am I going to look? Okay, so I see some girl, and what am I going to try and check out first?
Yeah. Like, what's the first thing you
Her ass.
Okay. Fair enough.
No.
If your back looks like this, it's just not, no, I'm not messing with it. Fucking flat as a board. No, I'm good.
Gonna put
you could have the biggest tits. I just think, here's an explanation to that. Like when you see a girl wearing pants or jeans or whatever, most of them wear fucking yoga pants anyway nowadays. It looks awkward when they don't have an ass. Like their pants look weird. Even the ones that they're wearing the high waisted shit now. Yeah. Like you look at it, you're like, that doesn't look right. But then you see like a fat ass in it, just like, boy, those jeans look good.
We're gonna turn this into the man show.
Yeah.
All right, that was what I had.
What did John say?
Well, we actually didn't do those questions with him. We started with Courtney's wife.
Yeah, so we've only got 3 Courtney's questions. So you guys are still new on these, and every time we go to introduce them, we always like keep the same like 5.
I bet the next time you guys ask these questions, John's gonna say his bulge.
Yeah,
probably. He's all about that.
100%.
His bulge.
Hashtag bulge.
You should have heard some stuff we had to stop and redo.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Wesley.
Yes.
Is that your only trophy you've ever had in your life?
No, Michael attests.
No.
I won probably 15 or 20 Open Series trophies, and I would just throw them into the woods at the event.
Why?
Because he's a freak.
Because fuck that place.
Oh, whatever, man.
He was not a fan of that series either. He would win, and he would always go, I just want the money. And he'd throw the fucking trophy.
Yeah, we were playing like in several events. The same event that we played against Sandy.
So here's what's going to happen. You're going to have a kid one day. Is he like, Dad, what do you got to show for your accomplishments?
And I say, this big ass.
Kid, let's go grab the metal detector. We'll go out to these woods. We'll go find them.
Yeah, see, there you go. No, in that series, they're probably fucking plastic, so you couldn't find them anyway.
Hey, I have a few of them.
What series was this?
See, he does GFOA. It was basically what the CFOA was, but they had an open series, and it was a lot of big skill players. Like we played.
Is that your dad's league, or he hosted the events at his field?
No, it was. We didn't play any there. They were all like at the bigger fields in Georgia, like in Atlanta, gotcha. All that kind of stuff. We played against CEP. All the time. San Diego Aftermath came down for an event. We played against a lot of really good teams, and we typically. I think we won think we won two back-to-back championships.
It's like 2008 and 2009, I think.
Yeah, we didn't even lose like many points ever, like in that thing. But it was just going downhill. They started lying about the prizes, and it was just getting really fucking shitty. They would like lie about the cash because we always played cash payout events only. Like we're all about that cheddar. Bring that cheddar,
bro. Go play WSPPL.
Now I will say MVPS puts out
MVPS and WSPPL put out fucking bank.
Yeah, and I think MSXL actually does okay too. They're like right in the middle, but they're like the lone survivors. Like that's about it.
Yep.
But that event would say it was an Act 2. It's based off percentage, but they guaranteed I think $1,500 cash for 5-man. But if there's more than 10 teams, I think 40% of the team's entry fee goes into the pot. So they kept taking every entry fee after 10 teams and putting it into the pot. So we won several times, like nice money, but it started getting so fucking terrible that event. I would literally win the event, like, and then take the fucking trophy and medals and shit, and just throw them in the fucking woods. Like I was only playing the event for the championship prize.
And every time he says this,
lying
my
about
mom will listen to this and go, "I can't believe he does that. I can't believe he does that."
Yeah, that's wild,
every
man.
time I'm like, "Yeah," I was like, "I wouldn't do it. I want my memory."
I mean, it's. I'm actually going to move them over here,
bad,
so I'm going to put them in the stream. My trophies and my medals.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I mean, it's cool. Like, Dad still has a couple of my like special ones that at his house, but I mean,
the special they got wheelchairs on them.
Yeah, basically. I mean, that event is kind of retarded. So
what Wes is saying is he's won so much, he just didn't want all the baggage of these trophies, right?
Yeah, sure he did.
This is also true. That's actually
I think we did actually compare dicks the other day. I think Wes has like one more event total in his life than I do.
Fucking 70-year-old bitch.
But in the last 3 years, I've smashed him, dude. Like 70, I think like 85% of mine from the last 3 years.
Well, see, I have to I'm in the art of sandbagging from where I have to be at. So I have to
trust me. Next year, 2021, I will be D3 again. Yeah. And I can't wait.
Well, I have to take off events so I don't push past D3. Like I was D2 in like 06, 07. So we were forced to play open at all the time. So you could theoretically go play USXBL because this is one of the things I don't agree with, and I understand why they do it, but to me it just doesn't seem right. You sign up your team 2 days before the event starts. They lock the rosters and they wipe them, so you don't get any points for that event. Yeah, like you go look at the rosters. This shows the staff members. Yeah, so does the AXBL. I mean, we were just talking about this.
Yeah, so I think the AXBL, just so you don't lose players, your player base. So, I mean, it's Texas, so it's the events down back and forth between, Dallas and San Antonio.
If you play UXBL, you'll be D3 forever. Because if you won the event, you were never on that roster, so you don't get the points from it.
Yeah, I mean, you could play their Premier. Well, they have it's actually called Premier because you can have, I think, 2 or 3 it's jacked up. So, you could theoretically get guys that play at a higher level, D2, and have them on your team. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win, but it does help. Yeah, I mean, it gives you help if those guys are on point today. That you'll win. But to me, you don't get the points. So if you play D3 Premier, you'll stay. Even if you're a D4 player, you'll stay D4. It doesn't count for anything. So it's wild, man. I don't get it. No, it's very expensive. It's very, very. So I think a case of 5 stars like $55 a case. Yikes! There's no breaks in paint. Like I think if you're a 100% sponsored team, I think you get like $5 off. I'm just like, no thanks. I'd rather go play WC and NXL and get paint for like 25, 35, 20, 25 to 30 to $35, whatever you're. So.
Well, I think that's everything I had.
I think that's all I had. Did you have anything else, Chris?
No, I mean, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's something cool. I hope it maybe you should consider instead of I know some guys do podcasts, but maybe eventually integrating it into like a live web stream as in addition to it going on to podcasts. So
we definitely talked about it.
We have talked about putting it on one of the paintball, like the 50 or 60,000 paintball page. Go on there and just do it live. And I know we'll have to deal with the trolls. There'll be tons of trolls in there, but I mean, it doesn't really bother me, but we can just do a Q&A.
No, it does bother you because you wouldn't be able to just bite your tongue. You'd have to respond. So,
I feel like Wes, shut up, don't read it. Wes, just talk to me. Wes, just talk to me. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, we thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for the next one, I guess.
And everybody, take your vitamins. I mean, Chris, you're doing the. You got your men daily vitamins now that you're 55, 60. So
hey, Centrum Silver, buddy, get it right.
Silver, So you guys take your vitamins. See you guys.
Take your Vergaminos.
Yes.
He said yes. See.
Peace out.